In this video, we're going to look at how to solve inequalities. The basic principle of solving inequalities is exactly the same as for equations. Whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other. The only difference is our inequality doesn't have an equal sign in it, it has one of our four inequality symbols in. And the inequality symbol is what follows through the whole sum. So we solve them in exactly the same way as we solve equations. Whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other. So let's have a look at some examples. 3x minus 4 is less than or equal to 2. So here the first thing we would do is add 4 to this side. So we have to add 4 to this side. And that will give us 3x is less than or equal to, and on this side we get 6. The next thing we would do is divide by 3, and then we get x is less than or equal to 2. And what that means is as long as we take a value of x that is less than or equal to 2 and put it into the original inequality, it will give us an answer less than 2. So let's, for example, if we looked at x equals 1, and we put that in there, we would get 3 times 1 minus 4, which is 3 minus 4, which is minus 1, which is indeed less than 2. And any value less than 2 would give us the right answer. That, then, x is less than or equal to 2, is our solved inequality. Let's have a look at the next one. 3 minus 2x is less than 7. Now with this one we have to be a bit careful. Inequalities have one difference to solving equations, and that is whenever we have a negative x, we must pass that to the other side. So in this case we're going to add 2x is the first thing. So we're going to add 2x to this side. And then we get 3 is less than 7 plus 2x. Now we're going to take 7 from this side. So we take 7 from this side. That gives us minus 4 is less than 2x. And then we're going to divide by 2, so we divide by 2 on this side to give us minus 2 is less than x, or we'd probably normally write that as x is bigger than minus 2. If we had have done this without adding the 2x, we would have got the sign the other way round. So let's have a look what happens there if we'd done it the other way. If we'd started with 3 minus 2x less than 7, and we'd minus 3 and minus 3, we would have got minus 2x is less than 4, and then we would have divided by minus 2, divided by minus 2, and we would have got x is less than minus 2. Now these two methods give us different answers. The first one gives us x is bigger than minus 2. The second one gives us x is less than minus 2. Clearly, one of them has to be wrong. So let's pick an answer to try. We're going to try a number less than minus 2. Let's try one of these. So if we pick x is equal to, let's try minus 3. Then we would get 3 minus 2 times minus 3, which is equal to 3 plus 6, which is equal to 9, which is bigger than 7, but we need it to be less than 7. So this method over here does not work. This is really important. When you have a negative x in an inequality, you must get the negative to the other side of the inequality. So you have positive x's before you do any divisions. So let's look at another example. We've got minus 5 is bigger than 9 minus 2x. In this one we have again got a minus 2x, so we're going to add 2x first of all. so we add 2x to this side. That gives us 2x minus 5 is bigger than 9. And then we're going to add 5 to give us 2x is bigger than 14. And then finally we're going to divide by 2 to give us an answer of x is bigger than 7 as our final answer for solving this inequality. We can also have the unknown on both sides, just like we can in equations. And as with other inequalities, we want to get a positive number of x's. So we're going to add 5x in this case. We're going to add 5x because we don't want negative x's. So we get 3 bigger than or equal to 7x plus 7. And then we're going to minus the 7 from both sides. And when we minus the 7, we're going to get minus 4 is bigger than or equal to 7x. And then we're going to divide by 7. So we need to divide by 7 on this side, which gives us minus 4 over 7 is bigger than or equal to x. Or we would normally write that as x is less than or equal to minus 4/7 is our solution to this inequality. Two more examples which are a little bit different. Now, we have in this one a 3-term inequality. And we work in much the same way. We want to get x by itself in the middle. So the first thing we're going to do is take away 3 from the middle. But if we take away 3 from the middle, we need to take away 3 from both of the other sides, the two ends. So when we do that, we get 4 is less than 2x is less than 12. Now we're going to divide by 2. So we must divide by 2 here, and we must divide by 2 here as well, which gives us x is less than 6 is bigger than 2. So any value between 2 and 6 would satisfy the original inequality. One final example now, which is even more complicated. This one has 3 terms to it, and each one has multiple terms in it. So 2x plus 1 is less than or equal to 4x minus 2 is less than or equal to 10 minus 3x. For ones like this, we could work like we did in the previous one, but it's often easier to split it into 2 separate inequalities. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to split this into this inequality here, and we're going to split it into this inequality here. And then we're going to put them back together at the end. So first of all, we're going to look at 2x plus 1 is less than or equal to 4x minus 2. We want to get the x in the middle. So we're going to move the 2x over. So we're going to subtract the 2x. So we're going to subtract the 2x from this side. That's because we want the x to be in the middle of our final inequality. It also happens in this case that that means we don't get any negative x's. So we have 1 is less than or equal to 2x minus 2. So now we add 2, we get 3 is less than or equal to 2x, and finally divide by 2, which gives us x is bigger than or equal to 3 over 2. Now the other side, we started with 4x minus 2 is less than or equal to 10 minus 3x. We're going to start by adding the 3x on this side because we want all the x's in the middle, which gives us 7x minus 2 is less than or equal to 10. We add the 2, so we add the 2, giving us 7x is less than or equal to 12, and then we divide by the 7 to get x is less than or equal to 12 over 7. We can now combine these two parts, here and here, to make our final answer, which is, in this case, if x is in the middle, it is bigger than or equal to 3 over 2, and it is less than or equal to 12 over 7. And that is our final answer for solving this inequality. So remember, to solve inequalities, we do exactly the same thing as with solving equations. Whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other side. The only difference is we don't ever want to have a negative x to divide by, because that messes up the inequality. So we must always pass negative x's over to the other side of the inequality before continuing to solve.